Hi, I'm CQ the Watch Guy, and today we're going to talk about the new Land-Dweller collection from Rolex. Let's check it out. All right, let's jump right into it. I've missed you guys. I know it's been a few weeks since I popped up a video, but here I am popping up on your feed. Watches and wonders are here. So many great watches, so many great watches, a lot of great things to cover. If you're not following me on Instagram, I suggest you do that. That's where I'm doing a lot of my quick takes. But Rolex has decided to make all the leakers right and the land dwellers, all the conspiracy theorists, everybody was correct. They registered the name land dweller, people caught on, and it's here. The new Rolex Land-Dweller collection, a completely new collection in the Rolex lineup, brand new movement as well. The aesthetics, honestly, is a throwback aesthetics. It's oyster quartz. It's oyster quartz in a modern variation, not a quartz movement, which I think would have been interesting. I would have loved to see a mechanical quartz, mecha quartz movement come from Rolex. I thought that would have been interesting, but that's just me and my little watch nerd brain. But yeah, so basically aesthetic wise, you have an oyster quartz, right? But then we have a whole new movement that is the might be the best serially produced industrial movement in watchmaking today. Really, really amazing stuff. I suggest you check out SJX. They have a really good article going in depth about the movement and really explaining what's going on there. Basically, 30% more accurate than current Rolex movements and most watches in general. They're using a different take on the Swiss lever escapement. It's not a natural escapement, kind of natural escapement, but very, very ingenious. You got silicone in there, a lot of good things going on. And I think that really was a great way to introduce this collection. This is a beautiful platinum one. Let me go back to the configurator. That was a great way to introduce the collection because we have new movements. So it's not just a new watch. As you can see, it's 14,900. So when I first looked at the watch, this is the 40 millimeter, I was like, this is very expensive for what's going to be a Datejust Plus, right? A Datejust 41 right now is 10,800 retail. So 14.9, I was like, I don't know. Just for an oyster quartz style bracelet in a new case, that's a little bit of a reach. But when you consider the movement that they're putting in this watch, the R&D that's going into that, and it's actually a very, very high quality. I would say we're stepping into Rolex is a very commercial, they make about 1 million watches a year. So for them to have a movement of this caliber is very, very interesting, and it's good. You're paying for it, but it's worth it. Even though a lot of people who are going to buy this aren't going to care about the new movement, but at least they're giving you something worth paying for. So we have 40 millimeter and 36 millimeter sizes. 36 millimeters, 13.9. We have stainless steel. Then we have Everose Gold, 46.1. We have platinum. That's going to be 63.5. This is in the 40 millimeter. They do it in 36 as well. I'm going to go into some live pictures, but I want to just talk about pricing real quickly because I was okay with the base level pricing. I'm okay with this. Is close to day dates and things like that. Look at what happens when we put a bezel on it. It jumps from 63.5 up to 116,900. Beautiful watch, baguette diamond bezel, baguette diamond dial. But it's a whole nother watch. To go from 63.5 to 116, that's nearly double the price for some really nice diamonds, but like they ain't that nice of diamonds. So this, in my opinion, is just they understand what's going on in the market. They understand the type of people who are going to buy this watch are going to make this very, very hard to get. And so that's why it's worth the price. But this is like a secondary market price for this watch. I would have expected 90 something, maybe into the hundreds, I guess. But for me, 169, I want some diamonds on the bezel. So what is a fully gem set version of this watch with gems in the bezel going to be? It's going to be insane. So I thought that was a little bit rich. And let's just go to let's just turn it into the rose gold. I hope it's not glitching too much for you guys, but I think you'll be okay. 46.1 for the plain version. I think this is my favorite, by the way. Oh shoot, click the wrong button. Bezel. Yeah, so you guys get to watch you stumble through. 103,200. It doesn't make sense. 46,100 to 103,000. She's telling me like 60,000, $60,000 for the diamonds, for a bag of diamond bezel. This makes you want to go aftermarket because then I can choose the size of the diamonds that goes into it. And like not to mention that the diamond market is actually softening at the same time this is happening. So this is my like probably my only criticism on this watch. Besides when we look at the live pictures, I'll show you some things. But like, yeah, 46.1, 103. I don't know. You decide. It'll sell, right? It'll sell, but that's a little bit of a grab. Let's go to Teddy. So Teddy Ballister, check out his YouTube if you want to see live videos of these watches. He did a really good lineup, and he's one of the first who got give him credit there. He has some good live pictures here. So this is the stainless steel, beautiful watch, 40 millimeter bezel case on this one. White gold fluted bezel. Again, I love oyster quartz, so I dig this watch. In the steel though, I'm gonna wait for a few more dial variations before I pick the one that I really like. The silver honeycomb dial doesn't do it for me, even though there's some good texture going on here. Just not my cup of tea. I think a gray, a black, a blue, a green dial, I'll jump on it, but the white dial just not hitting all the way home for me. This is a Oyster Quartz Texano, one of the watches that it was based on. The platinum hits. The platinum hits really, really hard. The glacier blue dial, perfect for this watch. So one of the criticisms that people are gonna say is this distance here between the bezel, the bezel and the dial. So this minute track here, it's pretty substantial, and it's something that we were looking at when I was doing one of the streams in just the prints, just the digital rendering, excuse me. And I was like, that has a lot of room there. So I can't unsee it now. It just seems like there's a lot of room there. It's not the most bothersome thing in the world, but it's something that's like, I was just a little bit slimmer, but that might just be me trying to find something to nitpick. This is a clean watch. This is a very, very clean watch. And like, I just wish it was a day date as well. But again, this is me just wanting to see things. Why wouldn't they eventually make a day date version? Because they could charge you 15 grand on top of whatever for a day date. I could see that happening. But even just as it is, this is beautiful. I think the honeycomb dial really, really works well with a glacier blue. And this is a sharp piece. This is going to be a killer watch. Really good job on the bracelet, giving you a mix of that Jubilee with the oyster quartz flattened links. Really, really solid piece. Very, very well done. A lot of people are gonna say like, oh, they're jumping on the integrated bracelet train, and they're gonna compare to Royal Oaks and all these different things. There's so many watches from the era that this is just a design of the era. So to compare this watch to any other brand, or to even do that type of comparison, or say they're trying to jump on any train, would be to say that like all the dive watches look the same. Why do dive watch? That's what a dive watch looks like. That's what a pilot watch looks like. It's just kind of the time certain watches looked the way they look. Everybody was trying to be hip, trying to be vibing. Come on, don't blame him. And doesn't this make you want to vibe? This is a sharp watch. This is a really, really sharp watch in the platinum. The rose gold. The rose gold for me. Right now, the rose gold is one. For some reason, nobody has all the pictures, so I have to jump around. Nobody has a full collection in live shots, so I have to jump around. But rose gold, baguette diamond bezel, baguette diamond dial. The silver dial really works well with the rose gold, I think. I understand why people will pay their amount. I don't like the amount that's being charged for this watch, but I understand. You could get me. You could get me without getting me too drunk to get this watch, because this is a really, really good looking watch. So let's jump over to, this is high snobiety, whatever. But they have a nice live shot of the rose gold without the diamonds. This is it. For me, this is a winner. When they do this in a chocolate dial, it's going to be amazing. They do this in a black dial or charcoal dial, this is going to be great as well. But right now, if I had to pick one, this would be the one that I'd hit on my AD for. I think it's just a gorgeous looking watch, gives you day date vibes without being a day date. If you want something with a little bit more cleaner dial, this hits it for you. And like, again, I was just such a big fan of the Oyster Quartz. So the one thing is, at these prices, you can get some excellent oyster quartz models that are near vintage with gem sets and some. You can get some really nice oyster quartz pieces at the prices that these are going for. So before I go the diamond route, I'm looking at a crazy older oyster quartz from the 80s or something. But if you're gonna stay modern Rolex, you don't want to dip in the vintage realm, let it go. Let the wallet go, man. Just pay. These are great. We'll see what happens on the secondary market. There's two schools of thought here. In the beginning, the prices will be high, but there's also a theory that's going around that the land dweller is going to give them an opportunity. This is where a lot of their new production is going to go. The theory is this is where a lot of the new production is going to go from the new factory that it's being built, or probably is already finished being built now. So this gives them an opportunity, and a number that's being thrown around is 100,000. So this allows them to produce a good amount of these watches, take that revenue in without affecting the Daytona market, the sub market, everything else doesn't get affected. They don't affect the rest of their collections by introducing this new collection and producing a bunch of watches there. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens on the secondary market. Not a watch I would buy in hopes of flipping, because I don't know if there's much meat on the bone. If you think about sales tax as well, for sure on the diamond pieces, there's not really that much meat on the bone, unless you flip it immediately. If there is like a great hype, that really people really want it, yeah. But like, remember, the entry price is going to be, with tax, rose gold is going to be 112, 150, 120, and the platinum is going to be close to 120, mid 120s, 130. So how much meat on the bone is there if you're going to flip it and all these things? So I think those might be under retail. You got to watch and see. But I think as generations of these watches come out, there are going to be some amazing dials that we're going to have, people chasing. People like me will be chasing for a lot of people and for themselves as well. This is another great shot from Revolution of the rose gold baguette diamond dial, baguette diamond bezel. It's a great looking watch. I just, the price tag, I don't know. I'm trying to be more price conscious. Just not. I'm trying to be more price conscious. I guess I am, but also like, when I'm advising clients now, I'm dipping a little bit back into the primary market. I was more very focused on the secondary market. Now I'm dealing with primary market, where clients are looking to get things on the primary market as well. So when I'm just looking at these retail prices, I'm like, oof, this is a lot. This is heavy, right? Compared to, when I started 10 years ago, 14 years ago, I should say, it was much different. It was much different 10 years ago, 14 years ago when I started, where I didn't really pay attention to these prices. But you look at the retail prices then compared to now, it's insane. So when I see this watch, which I think for sure should be like a $90,000 watch, for sure this should be, very close to 100,000. But this isn't even a dated, So it's like, I guess that's the prices of watches these days. And this is a great watch, and it will sell. So nothing I says even matters. But I think, if I'm going to spend $103,000, there's a lot of other watches, even in the Rolex collection, that you could get that will give you a lot of bang for your buck. So if you're going to spend that money, you really have to love it. Let's see what other pictures Revolution has. Good shot of the movement here. Some people saying they shouldn't have opened up the movement. Some people saying, hey, why not give it to them? A lot of people saying, why open the movement? Because it's not finished. These are not hand finished movements, even though the prices you're paying are pretty high. A lot of watches aren't half finished, but they're not as well finished as people would like. I don't know if it matters too much. I know a lot of people like to see the movement. They put a gold roller on there. I'm not hating too much on it. I know what it is with Rolex. I'm not somebody who's expecting to see that quality of finishing. So I understand, people saying like, but like, I was never gonna take a loop on a Rolex anyway. So it's nice that they give you they're giving you something, okay? we take what we can get when it comes to Rolex. I don't think anybody else has any cool pictures you want to check out. Yeah, I think that's it. Really great watch. I love the platinum. I don't know. Now I'm deciding whether it's platinum or rose gold for me. Beautiful, beautiful watches. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And these are it's a block to watch. Our friends over here. See, this is the one shot of the steel. This and the shot with Federer, where he's eating the fondue. This could be called the fondue 40. In certain circles. Um, I don't know. Let's wrap up. What do I think about this watch? I think this is a good watch. I think this is a great move for Rolex commercially. I think this is a great move for Rolex collectors. It gives you something else to buy. I like that the movements in there, the movement that they put in there is worth it. I think retail prices of all watches are a little bit too high, but that's just the world whatever we want to call it. I do think this first generation of dials, you're not doing yourself a disservice by waiting and seeing what else it will come out with, because it's Rolex. So you know that there's going to be an amazing variety of dials that will come out, and different gem sets and all type of different flavors for sure. For sure, yellow gold. Oh my gosh, I just put that in my head. For sure, the yellow gold will come out eventually. And imagine a yellow gold Land-Dweller or a black dial or onyx dial or even a blue dial. That would be insane. So I can see in 5-6 years we get so many great variations. So I think this is something that don't run out and get unless you're head over heels in love with it. I think if you get offered it from the AD, why not take a shot if it can fit in your collection and you see if you can wear it. I think value wise, you're not gonna be in too bad of a place. You should stay steady on the market. I would not say these are watches to buy to flip unless you're gonna buy it and immediately flip. And I don't think you should buy any watch to immediately flip. That's just a bad behavior. So yeah, I think these are good watches. I think if you like it, buy it. If you love it, jump for it. But again, I would say patience for those who want, who are not in love with it, because much more interesting variations for sure are gonna come down the line, and let the availability. The feeling is in 2-3 years, this will be something closer, I think, to the availability of a Datejust. Like, this is a category that they want people, like a Datejust, Explorer, OP, that type of thing, where they want people to get into these watches. I think in the beginning it'll be very, very tight, but I think eventually these will be available, in my opinion. I have no insight on that. That's just, why not? Why not make these available and just keep printing money? When you can print gold, you just print it, right? Anyways, I'm CQ the Watch Guy. If you want to reach out and chat watches, check out cqthewatchguy.com. If you need advice, you're trying to build your collection, you're trying to curate your collection, you need to liquidate, whatever, I'm here for you. cqthewatchguy.com. Advise people all over the world on how to build their dream watch collections. Thank you so much for tuning in. Many more videos on all the watches and wonders releases coming up. So make sure you subscribe, keep the notification bell on, and most of all, buy what you love. Have a great day. See you soon.